everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Speak Easy English. I'm Lisa, and I'm here with my wonderful co-host, Tommy.
Hi, Lisa, and hello to all English learners. I'm Tommy. Today we'll be listening to Anna and Alex discuss productive morning routines.
And I am Anna. I'm excited to talk about mornings today.
So, Anna, why are mornings so important? Many people just want to sleep as long as possible.
That's true, Alex. But how we start our morning actually affects our whole day. When you have a good morning routine, you feel more positive and get more done. Many successful people say their morning routine is a big reason for their success.
I've heard that, but I know many people struggle with mornings. What are some common problems people face?
The biggest problem is not getting enough sleep. Many people stay up late watching videos or using social media when they're supposed to be sleeping, then feel very tired in the morning.
I'm guilty of that sometimes. What else?
Another big problem is not being organized. When you can't find your keys or don't know what to wear, you start your day feeling stressed.
That's so true. I hate rushing around in the morning looking for things.
Also, some people try to do too much in the morning. They want to exercise, meditate, read, and check emails, all before work. This can be too much. And don't forget the snooze button. I used to hit snooze 3 or 4 times every morning.
The snooze button is a big trap. When you keep going back to sleep for short periods, you actually feel more tired when you finally get up. So how can people plan better for their mornings?
Great question, Alex. One simple tip is to prepare things the night before. Lay out your clothes, pack your bag, and maybe even prepare breakfast.
That makes sense. What about making a to-do list?
Yes. Before bed, write down 3 important tasks for the next day. This gives your morning direction and purpose.
Just 3 tasks, not 10 or 20?
Keep it simple. 3 important tasks are better than a long list you'll never finish. A simple routine is one you'll actually follow.
Let's talk about waking up. Do you have any tips for people who find it hard to get out of bed?
If you want to wake up earlier, make small changes. Don't suddenly try to wake up 2 hours earlier. Start with just 15 minutes earlier, then gradually adjust.
What about alarm tricks? I've heard people put their alarm across the room.
That works well. When you have to get out of bed to turn off the alarm, you're already up. Some people also use sunrise alarm clocks that slowly get brighter to wake you naturally.
But if I want to wake up earlier, I should also go to bed earlier, right?
Absolutely. Many people forget this part. If you want to wake up at 6 a.m. but still go to bed at midnight, you'll be exhausted. Try to reduce screen time before bed and make a relaxing bedtime routine.
Once we're awake, what should we do first? Check our phones?
Actually, I recommend avoiding your phone for the first 30 minutes. Instead, try some mindfulness exercises.
Like meditation?
It doesn't have to be complicated. Even simple deep breathing helps. Try the 4-4-4 technique. Breathe in for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, and breathe out for 4 seconds.
That sounds easy enough. Any other mindfulness tips?
Yep. Think of one thing you're grateful for each morning, or set a positive intention like, today I will be patient, or I am ready to learn new things.
I like that. It's like giving your mind a positive direction.
Exactly. It's like muddy water in a glass. When you let it sit still, the mud settles and the water becomes clear. Mindfulness helps your thoughts settle.
What about physical activity? Is everyone supposed to do a full workout in the morning?
Not necessarily. Even gentle stretching for 5 minutes helps wake up your body. It gets your blood flowing and gives you energy.
I sometimes take a short walk around my neighborhood. Is that good?
That's perfect. Even a 5-minute walk, especially outside in the fresh air, can really wake you up. Another fun option is dancing to music while getting ready.
Dancing, really?
Yes. You know, it's fun and energizing. And for English learners, dancing to English songs gives you language practice too.
Speaking of language learning, our listeners are English learners. How can they include English in their morning routine?
There are many simple ways. Read a short English article or news story while having breakfast. Or write in an English journal about your plans for the day.
I've heard speaking practice is important too.
Absolutely. Try describing what you see around you in English. You can even practice speaking in front of a mirror for a few minutes.
These are all great ideas, but how do people stay consistent with their routine?
Tracking your progress is really helpful. Use a simple habit tracker where you can check off each day you follow your routine.
And I guess it's important to be flexible too.
Yes. Take time each week to think about what's working and what isn't. It's okay to adjust your routine as needed.
Should we celebrate when we stick to our routine?
Definitely. Celebrate small wins like waking up on time for 5 days in a row or completing your English practice every morning for a week. This keeps you motivated.
This has been so helpful. Any final advice for our listeners?
Remember that the perfect morning routine is the one that works for you. Start small, be consistent, and your mornings will transform your days.
Thank you, Anna, and thank you all for listening to the morning routine. Until next time, have a great morning.
That was a great discuss productive morning routines. I really need to stop hitting snooze every morning.
Me too. I liked Anna's tip about preparing things the night before and limiting tasks to just 3 important ones.
Makes sense. I always try to do too much.
Do you think you could avoid checking your phone for 30 minutes after waking up?
That would be hard. But I want to try the 4-4-4 breathing technique.
Me too. All right, let's start our podcast. What are the words today, Lisa?
The first word today is exhausted. Then we will continue with trap and intention, then be supposed to, and the final one is to lay out. Let's start with the first word.
Exhausted is an adjective. It means very, very tired. When you are exhausted, you feel like you have no energy left. For example, after running for an hour, I feel exhausted.
It's like I just want to sit down and rest.
Exactly. Here's an example sentence. After studying all night for the exam, Jake felt exhausted in the morning. This means Jake was very tired because he studied for a long time. Another example could be, Maria was exhausted after cleaning the entire house. This shows that Maria was really tired because she did a lot of work.
Can you use exhausted in different forms, Tommy?
Sure. For example, the long meeting exhausted everyone.
Oh, so if something exhausts me, I will feel exhausted.
Perfect. And you can use it with the verb feel or be. For example, you can say, I feel exhausted, or he is exhausted. You can also add words like completely or totally to make it stronger.
Like after moving apartments, I was completely exhausted.
Well done, Lisa. And you can use exhausted in casual and professional settings.
Okay, well, I think now our followers understand the word exhausted better. Now let's move on to our next word.
The next word is trap.
Trap.
Trap can be both a noun and a verb, and it has several meanings. Trap as a noun is something used to catch or stop someone or something. For example, hunters use animal traps to catch small animals. Or in movies, you often see a mouse trap catching a mouse.
Yes. And it doesn't have to be a physical trap. For example, a traffic trap is when police wait in a hidden spot to catch speeding cars.
Good one. Now let's move on to trap as a verb. When we use trap as a verb, it means to catch or prevent someone from escaping. For example, the hiker was trapped in the cave after a rock fell. This means the hiker couldn't get out. Or the cat got trapped inside the closet. Poor cat.
Yeah, but trap can also mean to trick someone. Like the journalist trapped the politician by asking a difficult question.
Oh, that's a common one. It's like when someone makes you say something you don't want to. And remember, trap can be used in both active and passive sentences. The hunters trapped the bear. Active. The bear was trapped by the hunters. Passive.
Is trap formal or informal?
Well, it's mostly neutral, so you can use it in both casual and professional situations. Right. You can say, I got trapped in the elevator, to your friend. But in business, you might say, we must avoid falling into a financial trap.
Okay, well, shall we move on to the next word? Intention.
Intention. Intention is a noun that means what someone plans or wants to do. Intention is all about plans and purpose. For example, if you plan to exercise more, you can say, my intention is to go to the gym 3 times a week. Or if you accidentally hurt someone's feelings, you might say, oh, I'm sorry, that wasn't my intention. This means you didn't mean to do it.
Good one. Here's another. She has good intentions, but sometimes she makes mistakes. This means she wants to do good things, but they don't always go as planned. Let's talk about grammar, Tommy.
Okay, Lisa. Intention is a noun, and we often use it with have. I have no intention of quitting my job, or with, he did it with good intentions. And with to plus verb, her intention is to help others and be careful. We usually don't say, do an intention. Instead, we say, have an intention.
Oh, like she has the intention to study abroad.
Yes, Lisa, that's correct. Is intention formal or informal? It's neutral, but we hear it more in formal situations. People might just say plan instead of intention in casual speech.
Right. Intention is very useful in business and professional settings. For example, the company's intention is to improve customer service.
Exactly, Lisa. Well, I think now our listeners understand the word intention better. Now let's move on to our next phrase. Be supposed to. Be supposed to. The most common meaning of be supposed to is when something is expected or required. For example, if you have homework, your teacher might say, "You are supposed to finish your homework before class."
Yes, that means it's your responsibility. It's what you should do.
Yes, right, Lisa. Be supposed to is a really common phrase. Here's another. We're supposed to wear a uniform at school. This means it's a rule or expectation. Now, be supposed to can also mean what people say or believe is true, even if it's not.
Oh, like when people talk about rumors or things they expect.
Exactly. For example, this movie is supposed to be really good. This means people say it's good, but we don't know for sure. Here's another one. He's supposed to be really rich. This means people think he's rich, but we don't know for sure. Let's talk grammar. Be supposed to is always used with the verb to be, am, is, are, was, were, plus supposed to, plus base verb. I am supposed to call my mom. She is supposed to be here at 5. And remember, in negative sentences, we add not after the verb be. You are not supposed to park here. Or he wasn't supposed to tell anyone. Is be supposed to formal or informal, Lisa?
It's neutral, so you can use it in both casual and professional situations. You might say to a friend, "We're supposed to meet at 6. Right. Or in a business meeting, you could say, "Employees are supposed to submit reports by Friday."
Okay. Well, I think we've reached today's last word. What is the last word? Lisa.
Lay out.
Lay out. Lay out is a phrasal verb that has a couple of important meanings. Let's start with the first meaning, to arrange or spread things out in an organized way.
Great. So if you lay out something, you put it in a neat or planned way. For example, before painting, an artist lays out their brushes and colors exactly.
Exactly. Or imagine you're packing a suitcase. Before putting things inside, you might lay out your clothes on the bed to see what you have.
That's a great example. I always lay out my outfits before a trip. It helps me stay organized.
Nice. And here's another one. At a restaurant, the waiter lays out the napkins, forks, and knives on the table before customers arrive.
Right? It's all about arranging things properly.
Good point, Lisa. Now let's move to the second meaning, to explain something clearly.
Yes, when you lay out information, you present it in a simple, structured way. For example, if you're giving a presentation at work, you need to lay out your ideas so people understand them exactly.
Exactly. Teachers do this all the time. They lay out lessons so students can learn step by step. Or imagine your friend is confused about a board game. You might say, "Let me lay out the rules for you."
Is layout formal or informal, Tommy?
Well, it's neutral, so you can use it in both casual and professional situations. In daily conversation, you might say, "Let me lay out my plan." But in a business setting, you could say, "I will lay out our strategy in the meeting."
Okay, well, that's it for today's episode of Speak Easy English. We hope you found the words helpful and the explanations easy to understand.
Thanks for listening. We hope you found today's episode helpful. If you did, Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Keep studying your English and stay tuned.
And share this episode with your friends who are also learning English. Let's help each other grow and improve together. And we'll see you in the next episode.